Praise the name of the Lord. It's that time again when we bring to you the Gorgeous Woman Show. Always a delight to have you on board. And as always, we request that you give us your feedback. It's important to us on 0728 316 317 and on our social media platforms. We are there to communicate with you. We are happy when you talk to us, and remember that you're a gorgeous woman regardless of what you have been through, whether it's written on your body or it's not written. You are a gorgeous woman, and stay inspired. I bring to you my guest called Jabi Kefunga. You're calling yourself Kibunga, but in Kikuyu is Kefunga.
It's Kefunga.
Kefunga. Wow. A beautiful, gorgeous woman that has been through it all. I don't know how you would treat it if you know that some organs of your body are missing, and what makes you a woman is technically not there according to cultural beliefs. But Jambi is somebody that has overcome that and say that a woman is not defined by the many babies she has, but by who she is. So welcome so much, my guest.
Thank you.
Asante sana for coming to share with us. So where does Jambi come from?
Jambi resides in Nairobi and Zimmerman area. And she is born in Nairobi. So like I can say I'm a born town.
You're a born town. Or which part of Nairobi?
I was born in Makongeni, Eastlands. But currently I'm residing on Thika Road.
Okay.
We call it Thika Road. Atusemangi Zimmerman.
Kanaka Thika Road. And Zimmerman is a good place. Yeah, it's a good place. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you at home where you you identify with is Makongeni.
My Ushago.
Oh, you have Ushago.
I have Ushago, and the Ushago is still in Zimmerman.
In Zimmerman.
Yeah.
Oh goodness.
Yeah. So basically, I'm a Nairobian.
That's good. Yeah. So do you have any siblings?
I have siblings. I have one sister, and I have a late brother who passed on a few months ago.
Okay.
And I have another brother.
Yeah.
So basically, we are now only three.
You are three now. Yeah. Are your parents alive?
They are all alive.
And they're in Nairobi?
Yeah.
Wow, how was your childhood? How did you grow up?
I grew up like any other normal child, a very happy girl, chubby, being the firstborn, and being pampered by everybody.
Wow. Because your followers are boys.
Yeah, the follower is a girl, and then the two boys.
Okay.
But we were being pampered, being the firstborn and the first girl.
Yes.
I was pampered, and I felt nice, and I grew to be a good, enthusiastic girl. And I went through all my primary, my secondary, my university level, until this moment.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what do you do as a career?
As a career, I'm a career woman. I'm a tours and travel consultant. And I also do some supplies. And I'm a very good church goer. I'm a choir singer in our church.
Choir? Which voice do you sing?
I sing soprano.
Oh, beautiful.
It sounds not a soprano today because I have a cold, but it's not a coronavirus.
Yeah. Oh, great. We appreciate you again for coming. And your story begins from a while ago, but it ends up in victory because that's why you're seated.
Right.
Because your story ends if it dies with you. But if the story now begins to impact somebody else, then we've gotten life out of the story.
True.
And that is what you have chosen to do. So when did you receive Jesus Christ as do you have a relationship with Jesus Christ first of all? Let me not assume. I
have a great inspiration with that Jesus.
Yes.
He's my all in all.
Amen.
He's my, I even don't know how to describe it.
Yes.
He's indescribable to
Amen.
me because he's done so much wonderful things. And he's continuing to do so much great things. And so I got him back in 1990. And up to this moment, I've not seen any other reason to go back.
No turning back.
No turning back.
Wow, that is just a preview of who my guest is, Jambi, a hopeful, enthusiastic, loving life. Her story does not reflect on her face, because once you deal with it on the inside, it becomes easy for you to tell it. And wherever you're watching us from, kindly let us know your feedback. If you know of a gorgeous woman you need to recommend, just to watch this program, that you may inspire them. See you after the break. You're welcome back, our viewer. Always excited to have you on board and to have wonderful guests like the one I'm having right here. A born Tao girl, having grown normally, just having fun, but something started happening. And you realize it was not normal. Did it begin in your teenage years, or kindly begin the journey? Where did it begin when you started bleeding?
I can reflect back. It started when I was around in Form 2.
Okay.
And I would bleed, and I would think it is just a normal thing, like any other, when we are having our own menses. But as time went by, it proceeded from the 3 days, it went to 1 week, and it went to a whole month, and I thought could not be right. But when it started flowing for a whole 1 month, it would come like periodically. It goes for 3 days, it stops for 2 days, it comes again back for 1 day. So you find like in the whole 1 month, you've bled for more than 15 days.
Wow.
But it was not continuous. So in third form, the routine continued, but when we got to college, it now became consistent, as in from the 1st of January to the 31st of January, then from 1st of February to if it was 28th. So I thought this was a problem, and I started feeling dizzy. I could feel dizzy. I could not walk out in the sun, and I thought I needed to seek some attention. But when I referred, I would talk to my girlfriends. They would tell me they're also undergoing the same. So I was like, it is also Kawa. So
I'm looking at when it was 15 days. Did you try to confide in someone that this was happening, or because you were young and naive, you just thought it would go?
I would just ask my girlfriends, and they would tell me, mine goes on for 5 days, mine goes on for 7 days. So I was like, maybe it's what I'm eating, or maybe because I was actually quite big. So I thought it was maybe I was taking a lot of chocolate, I was taking a lot of sweets, I was taking a lot of junk. So I thought that would be the reason, which after some time I thought it was not a reason. And so one day we had just gone shopping with my mom at this Nakumatt downtown. This time I was in Form 4. And just inside the supermarket, I just fell down. I just felt dizzy. And this is the day I disclosed to my mom, this is what has been happening, and we sought some medical attention. So we went and saw a doctor, and I explained to the doctor, and I was declared to be anemic.
Wow.
So I was advised that I do a scan, and they did a scan, and they found that they had, actually those days, they were not known, they were fibroids, they were calling them growths.
Oh yeah.
So the doctor said that I have some growths. He can see some growths which he does not understand what they are.
That is when you were in your 4th form?
That is when I was in 4th form. So I was advised to take some medicine. I was given some medicine that would help these growths shrink. And so I was given to take them for a period of 2 months. And I went home with that. Okay, and I remember those days we had this, the herbal medicines.
Yes.
There's Tianchi, there was something, and we were being told to take. I was also given that, but not by the doctor.
Just by nutritionist or all those who do network marketing.
Correct.
I'm wondering all this time, were there physical symptoms like pain?
Actually, when I was in school, there were no pains. I did not have any pains. Only that you'd find yourself, you are leaking, leak because the flow was too much. So you'd find yourself, you've messed on yourself, but there were no pains. Actually, I could wake up in the morning, I don't have any bleeding on me. And so maybe at break time, when I'm just about to stand, I feel that there's something. that is not right.
So you'd actually live a very
unstable
life. Unstable.
Very unstable and very uncomfortable. Yeah.
Did it make you feel different amongst your equals?
Yeah. It made me wonder Is it that I don't know how to take care of myself because nobody else messes around? Is it that I'm not using the right sanitary wear or whatever?
Yeah.
Or I don't know. Actually, in my mind, I was asking myself, don't I know how to fix these things?
These things.
So I was so anxious. I had so many questions in me. I didn't know whom to share with.
I know.
And
I'm sure it can be very nasty in secondary school
it was
when
very
that
nasty.
happens, and you end up walking boldly and you don't know things are really messed up.
I can remember when we had a biology teacher. He was a man, and I had just gone to the loo, and I felt when I came back, I really needed to go back.
Yeah.
And I wondered, do I ask him again whether I go? So this time I didn't ask him, I just went. And I sat on that bowl and I really cried because one, I had used all the sanitary that I had.
Yeah.
So now I had only to use some tissue paper.
Yeah.
And I wondered if I go back and the lesson it was taking around 45 minutes.
Yeah.
Will I withstand sitting for those 45 minutes so that I can talk to a girlfriend and ask her if she has something that I can use? And when I went back to class, he was like, he made a joke out of that. And he said there are some people who take a lot of fluids and don't know how to take care of those fluids.
Wow.
And I really felt like I really want to tell him to just let it be and let me go. But I just held it and went back. But after the 45 minutes, I could not even wake up. I could not stand up because it was all a total mess. But luckily we wore such skirts, navy blue skirts.
Navy blue skirts.
Yeah, so it was not
so it was easy on you.
It was a bit easier, but it could leave the mark on the seat.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that must have been difficult.
It was.
So
but it's no longer.
It's no longer there.
Yeah.
Wow. So after that, now you went to the doctor, said there is a growth.
There is a growth and that needed to be operated on so that they could remove what was on the outside. Basically, these growths, they grow on the outside of the uterus. We have some that grow in between the uterus, and we have some that grow inside the uterus. So when we agreed to go for the operation, they opened it up. And they saw that there were some that were outside the uterus, there are some that were in between, and there are those that were inside.
Wow.
But I didn't go when I was in Form 4. I waited to do my exams. So I went immediately after we finished our exams.
But still it's continuing.
It did continue.
Wow.
But on the exam week, I want to believe God was on our side. I only bled for 1 day.
Wow.
And they ceased. So I said, wow, at least I'm a little bit of peace. But all this time you could not go without a pad on you. So you had to stock yourself well.
Yeah, and of course the anxiety of the end of the lesson.
Yeah. So
is it okay
myself,
for me?
No, I was, my routine has been on a pad throughout.
Wow.
With or without, I had always to have 2 of them, in fact.
Wow.
So they were part of my clothing.
Wow.
Yeah.
That must have been difficult. Wow. Wow. So even in your shopping, it used to be big.
I could buy a whole dozen, 2 dozens, because at times you could find me use about 10 packets in a day, which made me change from now using pads. I buy these underpants. Wow. The pumpkins, I would use that. They're called Pampers, not
the
pumpkins.
Pampers. Oh.
I'd use the Pampers, and then I would use even a tampon, so as to try and just regularize that it doesn't.
And did you get a special diet as a result? Because losing all that blood, now you're anemic.
Now I'm anemic. I was told to. I was given that red medicine.
Yeah.
Which was a bit yucky on me. So I sought to take food that is basically iron boosters. So I took some beetroots. I used to take some carrots.
They allowed you in
a lot
school?
of vegetables.
Oh, great.
Apparently, I was not in a boarding school. That was the very best part of
beauty
it.
of
I was
it,
in I was in a secondary that is just here in Nairobi. That's why I'm saying generally I'm a Nairobian, and I'm proud to be. And it's all about, Nairobians are not bad. It's all about yourself.
It is true.
Yeah.
So the day of surgery was scheduled after your exams?
After exams, and it was done, and they opened it
before
up.
we jump there, did it affect your performance at all?
Not really. Not really. I performed well.
Glory to God. Whoa, you're a strong, gorgeous woman. Because you'd imagine that after you've gone through all that, it would probably take away your concentration. But we thank God for that. And no wonder your relationship with God is so grounded, because in spite of that.
It is. It is.
Yeah.
So the operation was done. That was the first one, because I've undergone 2 of them. And when they opened it up, when they opened the womb up, they saw what could be removed was what was outside the uterus. And so that was removed. These growths look like the shape of this cup. And they sprout out like potatoes. So they removed all that. And they found there were some that were in between the uterus, and there are some that were inside the uterus. And because of the tender age, I was advised they will not tamper with that, because they are giving me a chance to get married, to get children, because once they tamper with whatever is in there, it might damage the uterus. So that was it. And the operation took 1.5 hours. And I was rested I was given about 3 months to rest, and I healed, and I continued with life like anybody else. I was given medication to help those that were inside the uterus to shrink. To shrink, and once they shrink, they were saying they were supposed to bleed. So for 1 year, 2 years, I was good. So were you bleeding still?
No. Okay.
I was now living a normal life. 3 days, I'm good.
You're good.
If it goes for long, 5 days. But this time now the menses were very painful. Very, very painful, such that on the second day I could not leave the house, because the pains were so tight. I could feel my muscles in the tummy were so tight. And I would prefer now sleep on a flat, cold floor, so that it eases the pain. And painkillers were part of me now after that operation, for around 2 years. So I was on, every time I had my menses, I had to take painkillers from the first to the last day.
So what was the explanation that the doctor gave you?
I went back to the doctor, and he said there was nothing major. It may be just that those ones, though, the whatever that was inside the uterus, the growths that were inside the uterus were shrinking or were shedding off. So we said, let it be, because I didn't want to go for another scan, because the radiation and what have you. Yeah, so I stayed with that until around 2015 it became more severe, and I could not live a normal life. Let me say now, that was not my life, because I now was grounded permanently indoors. The farthest I could move was from my room to the washroom, from the washroom to my bed. And
wow. I'll just put you on hold for a minute. My director is telling me we need to take a break, but before we take that break, kindly share with a friend, no matter how young they are, as long as they are girls, because sometimes because there is no much education about that cycle, our monthly cycle. So when it goes 5, 7, 10 days, because they are still coming into terms with the newness of womanhood, you think it's normal. Just share with them, and let's become one another's keeper as we hear the story again of Jambi after the break. Welcome back, our viewer. As always, the Gorgeous Woman Show on CTN TV, live on Facebook and live on our Covenant Television Network page. Go like our page and share the story with your friends and family. Let them know that it's happening now. You never know, the story that you hear will change and transform the life of somebody. And gorgeous women are the women that take pain, and instead of turning it inside, they use it to heal others. So we have a healer in the house. She's out to heal the lady that is feeling like they don't matter because of what life has brought to them. So Jambi, so now you come to that place where you're grounded in 2015? You're grounded. You are grounded. You can't forget that year.
No. Yeah. I never forget.
So what happened?
This was the best year, which I can never forget.
Yes.
Apart from my year of birth.
Yeah.
And this time, the bleeding was so consistent. And I would bleed. I would sleep overnight, not bleeding, but on waking up in the morning, I'm all covered from head to toe. The bed is red, and I'm like, gosh, I even didn't hear, I didn't feel anything. And during the day, I would be okay. At night again, the following night, it could not happen. But
so it was uncontrolled. It was now coming out without control.
No sign, no symptom, no pain, no nothing.
Wow.
So actually it made me feel like now I cannot move because I don't know when, I don't know how. So I just contained myself in the house, and I could not wear anything white because but the best I could, there was a feeling that I could feel when it was like my normal menses that are coming. You know how a woman feels,
yes.
They are coming. So I would feel that, and I would know they're about to come in 2 or 3 days. But that moment, I've just felt it. In the next hour or so, it would be there. And it would not come like in small bits. It would come in like a very big crumb would just fall. And you would feel there's something, I just felt something warm is coming out.
Is it painful?
It was not painful, I just feel something warm, especially when it was cold. You know, we make fun out of it now.
Yeah.
When it was cold, I would feel so good.
You feel it's warm.
Yeah, I feel something very warm oozing out.
Yeah.
And I would rush to the washroom, and I would sit on the ball, and big chunks would fall. Big chunks, bigger than this cup. They would drop in the toilet, they would drop in the toilet, they would drop in the toilet.
This is after his surgery, 2 years after the surgery.
After the surgery. And after that has come out, and one thing I would like to tell people, you can recognize it's not a normal bleeding because it was not the normal red.
Yes.
It was more like the cocoa, when you put cocoa with water, that brown, that is what was coming out.
Wow.
And the big chunks that were coming out were that dark. And
so is it the fibroids that were melting?
I think they were the ones that were melting and leaving out. Because what happens with these fibroids, they multiply.
Oh.
What I came to realize, instead of them shrinking, they multiplied and multiplied, and such that when the bleeding, when the normal menses come, it did not have a leeway to leave, because it was already, the womb was already, it was already cramped up. So some of the blood did not come out, so it was left there. So they would just shed off. They would just shed off.
And they would be smelly.
They were very smelly. They were very smelly because now I took it, it's a part of me. So I wouldn't leave it to go. At times I would, at night I would wake up and I feel like if it's about to come. There was a very funny sharp pain I used to feel down here. And I would come out of bed and squat in my room. And I would put some tissue so that I just want to see what is this. Wow. And I would observe it, and it had things like, it looks like it had paws. I sat down to just watch and want to learn what is all this. And
did you go to the doctor this time, or you still are afraid of radiation?
No.
Yeah.
I went, and I was told the surgery that was required was now to remove the whole uterus. And as a woman, it was not easy, so I told him, let me just wait, let me just go and think about it. And because I was already anemic, I was given those boosters, and I stayed 2015, 2016. It was
still
not
the
getting
condition,
any better. It was not
still the
getting
same.
better. Yeah.
I can imagine losing blood every other time.
Yeah, I became so slender. My nails started chipping off. My hair started plucking off. So now I looked more like for lack of a better word, somebody who had cancer. Because even my hairdresser now decided, this person who comes to my salon and her hair is just dropping off and she's just thinning, she has a problem. So she later told me she had a separate comb for me, which she would use when I come. And once I left, she kept it safely so that it was only basically for me. And even the skin color changed.
You became pale.
I became very pale. I was not navy blue, I was not purple. I had a very funny color. Wow. And the teeth also now came out. I could not even shut them out like where I am. And actually I was a ghost. I was a moving ghost.
So were you living alone, or this time you're with your parents?
No, yeah, I'm still with my parents, and everybody is like, what's the problem? And I'm like, I don't have a problem, I don't feel anything. And my late brother would ask me, ama uko na virusi? And I'm like, I don't have. And I was like, even the clothes now stopped fitting me. I would take my clothes today to be slimmed. They're adjusted. They're adjusted. I wear them for 2 days. I go back again. I changed from a medium to a small, from a small size. Now I could not fit on anything.
And all this time the bleeding still continuing. No medication can control it.
No, nothing could control it. Nothing could control it until when now worst came to worst, and I said, let it be. And I told my parents, now I'm ready to go for that surgery. Whatever they decide, let it be. And so I went. I was admitted, and I was told on admission that I had to be transfused because I didn't have any blood. And the transfusion was I had to be transfused so that as to go for the surgery. But once they started transfusing me, they were transfusing me and the blood was still flowing out. So it was all a waste.
Wow.
So they said now the last option is that they transfuse as I'm still I undergo the surgery, which is what we did. And they opened up the womb, and they found it was a total mess. It was all chaotic. And the operation lasted for around 10 hours.
10 hours.
And
wow.
They are the ones who later told me, because everybody else refused to sign my consent because the chances of survival were very minimal. So I signed my own consent. And
this time you're conscious. You're still conscious of what is happening.
I'm conscious. I signed my consent in the morning, and I went for theater, and they removed the uterus. They found the ovaries were bad. They removed them all, and that is me.
What made them bad? The growth.
And the wetness that has always been there.
Yeah,
it's contaminated everything. So they saw the best thing and the only lasting solution was to remove
the whole reproductive system.
Yeah.
Wow.
So they removed masses that were as big as a watermelon. very big because they brought them for me to see.
Wow.
They were filled in a bucket. And
In a bucket?
Yeah.
And your stomach was not bloated?
No, the stomach is normally
Was very big?
Very big. Actually, I could only put on maybe a free dress. One would think you are very pregnant.
Wow.
So that was done in 2016. I've recuperated from that. I came to terms with it. I spoke to myself and I told God, this is me, this is the new beginning of me. And I journeyed on, and I'm journeying on.
So did you receive counseling when they said they are removing?
No, I'm a counselor on my own. I counseled myself because nobody, basically nobody can counsel you and tell you, but now you don't have your uterus, you're not going to be
I meant
mother.
before.
No.
So you were just told you are removing. You
Actually,
deal
they
with
also they didn't think it would be that bad.
Okay.
When we were going for the surgery, they knew they were going to remove what was just
the fibroids.
The fibroids.
Yeah.
But on opening, it was chaotic because even the gas that they were using for the operation, it ceased off because they thought it was something that was going to take maybe 4 to 3 hours. But they had to extend
10 hours.
They had to extend to because of the extent of the damage that they found inside.
So what and what did they remove the uterus?
They
removed the ovaries?
uterus, they removed the ovaries, and they were saying part of the kidney had some rupture, but I don't feel anything. I don't feel anything. Though when they were doing the operation, they said it could not tamper so much. It could not interfere with my general life. Yeah.
Wow. So you wake up from that, journey, and then the doctor briefs you what they found out, and you see the masses that were before you. Explain to me that moment. What came through your mind?
It was actually, I cannot say it was easy. It was not an interesting moment. Excuse me, because I told the doctor to just leave them there, first observe them, I analyze them, and I internalize. And they were left there for about 3 hours, and those who came saw them, and they were like
3 hours.
Yeah, and they were like,
you were just there observing them.
Yeah, I really needed to absorb what this is. And those who came in, they saw them and they were like, they look like babies. Everybody gave his or her own view. They look like babies, they look like balls, they look like pumpkins. And my brother was like, you are carrying all this all along and you are walking? And I was like, yeah. So, and then I told them, have them.
Wow. You're courageous. Not many people can even withstand that.
God.
It's a grace of God. So what gave you courage?
I told myself, if this same God, He's the one who created the first womb, and I want to believe He's a maker and He's doing greater, and He can make a greater womb than what I have. I think He can still, because He says He's a God of a second chance.
Yes, yes.
He can still manufacture another one.
Amen.
And I don't call myself motherless. I don't say that I'm childless, because I'm not.
Amen.
Because I believe down there somewhere, there's still something good that He has for me.
Amen.
And even when I'm seated in the house, all the children, my sisters, my brothers, they actually look at me like their mother.
Oh, yeah.
More than their mother. They would even call and tell their moms, just call auntie and tell her we want 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Oh.
So I don't feel that loneliness.
You don't.
And I don't have that heart that if I see children I feel bad.
You feel bad. No.
So I've accepted it, whatever comes. That is who I am. That is.
So that was your way of closure.
Yeah.
The minute you looked at what was in your body, and now the way you are, I think that one in itself was a healing.
Yeah, it was so much freedom. It was a relief. And I'm also saving a lot.
Yes, you are.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, now. And on that happy ending, oh my goodness, she's saving a lot. Everything has a positive side.
Yeah.
So as we come back after the break, she'll tell us her plans about marriage, life, kids, what is the future holding for her, and of course encourage a woman that feels that you only identify with how many kids you get. How can I come to a place of self-acceptance and just knowing that I am who I am by the grace of God, and not just because of what I have. See you after the break. Wow, what a joy and what a guest we are having in the house. No matter what life throws at you, you can always put yourself together and look at the positive side of it. And that is what my guest Jambi has done. She has taken what life had given her, like they say when they give you lemon, make it lemonade, and you'll be able to drink it and it will be sweet. So Jambi, now you've come out of the surgery and now you've been released from hospital and you've gone back home. What are the feelings that you battled with? Now that you've come, you know you've lost something.
Okay, basically I lost my self-esteem. I didn't know how to handle things. As I'm now, I looked at myself as half a woman.
Wow.
But I read a book that really inspired me, and it told me that tough times don't last forever. And so I talked to myself and I told myself that was in the past, and now I'm looking into my future. And I said, here I am. I woke up, cleaned myself, clothed myself up, and just came to the CBD. I just wanted to start a new life. And nobody thought I would do it alone. I just didn't even use the vehicle. I used a matatu.
And this time have you healed?
Somewhere, yeah.
Had you healed?
It was after a whole 1 year. A whole good 1 year. And I wanted to pick the pieces from somewhere. And that is how my journey started. I let go of all that was there, because one thing I'm glad about right now is that I can dress how I want. I can walk how I want. I can eat what I want. Initially, I could not put on anything white. The best I used to put on those days was black, and it's black trousers, and they have to be inside. I had to be having so many things to absorb whatever would happen. But now I walk freely. I'm a free person. No pains, no anxiety. Anything is going to come my way. And I'm living a normal life like anybody else, because unless I give you my story, when we are walking down the street, we are all equal. I don't have any disability in me. It's not a disability, because I've not accepted that as a disability. It's a part and parcel of me. And it doesn't matter how the society judges you. The perspective I have in myself and my attitude is what bears who I am.
Wow. So are you married, or do you have plans of marriage?
I'm not married. I don't have plans of getting married.
Hey, Jambi. And then you say it with us, so I don't have plans of getting. Why is it? Why not? There could be somebody who doesn't even want a child.
If that one comes my way, fine. But I don't want anybody to bring me anything that is going to stress me. I live a stressful life. I do what I want. I jump with kids how I want. So sitaki any barriers, sitaki stress.
I know. So has it affected, probably if it happened since you were young, it generally has affected the way you date, dating, and it was not a priority?
No.
But I thank God, because now you're whole. if there is a good gentleman there who comes, who doesn't mind having kids, no kids, who doesn't want kids, and there are many who are
interview him.
Oh my goodness! If he passes the and the pastor wants qualification, as long as you will not use this against him. I think that's a positive side to look at it. So there could be probably somebody that maybe has all their organs intact, but they are stigmatized because they were made to feel they are not women enough because they don't have kids, they are not married, they've gone through calamity. So what is that one word that you can tell them that has kept you going?
One thing that has kept me going is I have a self-identity in myself, and I don't want anybody or anyone to pity me.
Oh yes.
And what I believe, life is not only about children, it's not about only marriage. Life is what you want it to be.
Oh yes.
And as long as you are alive, with or without those organs, you are a woman, and a woman of substance.
Oh yes.
Because we are told a bird may soar and break its wings, but they will grow again and it will fly again. And I want to believe I, as Jambi, will fly again.
Amen.
And you out there who is having all your organs, and in one reason or the other, you feel like you're wasted or you're not giving birth. I just want you to wake up this morning and tell yourself, I am who I am, because that is what God has made you to be, and He has plans for you. And just swagger up and feel that you're the woman you are.
Hey, swagger up.
Yeah.
I tell you, Jambi. That is so awesome. I love your spirit. It's so you have this inner strength from within you, and I know it didn't just come. Of course, the presence of God and the inner conversations you have within yourself. Among the support system, who is it that you feel so much indebted to and thankful that they walked with you in this journey?
I have my mom. She's my strength of hope.
Wow.
My family, my sister, my brothers, they were so good. They were always there for me.
Wow.
I have my auntie who had also undergone the same, and she told me, Jambi, we are going to soldier on. But they were feeling sorry because she has 2 kids.
Yeah.
But I knew what was running in their mind. You know, you're telling someone you're going to move on, but she already has
kids, yeah.
But I want to tell them, and I want to assure them, I'm moving up, and I've moved on, and I'll continue moving on. And I don't have any regrets.
Oh yes.
I don't have any regrets. I'm not ashamed.
Oh yes.
And I'm happy
Amen.
with myself.
Glory
and
to God.
Thank God so much.
Yes.
Because I want to believe if I continued the way I was, maybe I would not be where I am.
Oh yes.
And I would not inspire anybody else.
Yes.
So far I've inspired several ladies, and they are moving on and they are recuperating well.
Great.
Yeah.
Wow. Thank you so much, Jambi, for sharing your story. And looking at you, I can see a bright future, because that was meant to bring you down. But instead you took it and brought it down, and now you're stepping on it. And that's the beauty of it. Oh, and I believe, and I believe my viewer will agree with me, she'll get married if she wants to. And of course that man has got to, you must be prepared for an interview in case you're watching, and make sure that you fit the description of this gorgeous woman. Just having gone through pain does not lower your bar. It does not make you substandard, because there is always this notion in us women that maybe when you lose your uterus, you lose maybe one of your breast, or anything that identifies you as a woman, that you are less of a woman. No. Accept your situation, and what is more endearing in a woman is confidence, is hope, is joy that is radiating from the heart. And my guest has all that, and that is what we call a gorgeous woman. So it's always a joy to be your host. I'm Reverend Ruth Wamoyo. Just a quick reminder, on 10th of October we are having a gorgeous woman dinner, And it's going to be, people like Jambi will be part of us. They'll share their life stories and tell us what God has done for them. All you need to do is just get ready, begin to shop for that dress that will flatter you and make you feel like you were born on the right day. And once you come, you'll be blessed. The details will be running on CTN TV and on our Facebook handle, so make sure that you stay tuned. It's me, Reverend Ruth Wamoyo, and my guest Jambi, and we wish you a wonderful evening. God bless you. Bye-bye.